When do we want it? When do we want it? Now! Guns down! Life up! Guns down! Life up! Who are we?
SUV!
Who are we?
SUV!
RPT!
Release the grip!
RPT!
Release the grip!
Guns down!
Guys down! Life up!
Hey everyone! Good evening! Guns down! Guns down! Guns down! Guns down! RTG! 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 SOS! 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 I brag, we brag. I brag, we brag. All right, y'all got it. East Harlem Save, you here? All right. Rise, you here? All right. Guns down, life up. SOS, RTG, we are here. And Life Cam, what's up, Life Cam? I saw the bus outside. I love it. I love it. SUV. SUV. Thank you, SUV. And first, let me just acknowledge and say thank you to everyone for the love that you have poured in to the family of Caleb Rijos, our 14-year-old young king who lost his life over a week ago, right here in the Bronx. An innocent child that was walking to school filled with so much promise and so much potential, and his life cut short at 14. I know tonight we lit candles in his honor. Last week we released balloons. We've been with the family, with mom and dad, and I just want to say thank you so much on behalf of all of us elected officials that strive so hard to make a difference in our borough, to keep our children and our people safe. Any life that we lose is a reminder of the work that must continue. And I take it personal because Caleb is our child. He's your child, he's my child, he's our child. And so we ought to take it personal when someone thinks it's okay to take the life of a young person and shoot down his dreams and destroy a family, right? And so I recognize the space that we are in. I recognize the work that is happening here at Lincoln. And I want to say thank you to New York City Health and Hospitals, to our CEO, Cristina Contreras. Thank you. Thank you to our CEO and to the leadership, to everyone that represents Lincoln, to James Dobbins and Gilly Delgado and the team at Guns Down, Life Up, Maria, and everyone that always keeps me informed of what is happening in the Bronx, and particularly right here in the South Bronx. It does not get lost on me that on yesterday, January 20th, was such an important day for a couple of reasons. First, it was Dr. MLK Day, to recognize this great man who stood for nonviolence, the late great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and who he was as a civil rights activist and advocate, but he was also a disruptor of the status quo. He was a troublemaker. He caused good trouble when it came to fighting for people, for God's people, to facing discrimination and racism, and making sure that we have a plan. And he had a dream. And while they may have killed the dreamer on April 4th, 1968, they never killed the dream. And I need everyone in this space to understand that that dream lives on in each and every one of us. It lives on in the work we do to help our children and our families, take care of our older adults and seniors and veterans, the work we do to make sure that people have comprehensive, affordable health care. We have great schools, amazing youth programs, lifting up our young people, fighting against gun violence every day, fighting against income inequality, and bringing back fairness to the system, letting young people know that they are not a statistic, but rather a success story. Letting our people know that yes, you go through some things, but every setback that you face is a preparation for a comeback. Knowing that this is our comeback moment as a borough. knowing that we have to stay ready so we don't have to get ready, knowing that this work is about our assignment and our purpose and fulfilling what we know is important to us, the values, the principles that are important to our community, not allowing folks to come into our neighborhood and destroy what we have worked so hard for. All of that, ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, is fulfilling the dream. And so the dream is yet to be fulfilled. On such a day where we recognize this great man, this great leader, teacher, and preacher, we also inaugurated a new president in this country. How ironic is that on the same day? And I know many feel uncertain about what lies ahead. Just on day one, look at what is happening already. And so we have to organize, we have to strategize, and we have to stay united. I don't want folks to think that this new administration talks about one community and it doesn't talk about all of us. So when we talk about our immigrant communities and those that may be undocumented, trust me folks, we are all in this together. Whether you are African American, Caribbean American, West Indian, Latino, it doesn't matter. We are all immigrants from somewhere, right? Yeah. And so I just need everyone to understand that when we have events and when we build, you need to be a part of those conversations. That is how you carry out the spirit of who Dr. King was, what he stood for. In his last days, before he was assassinated, he was standing at the Lorraine Hotel fighting for sanitation workers, fighting for union jobs and job security. Family, in 2025, we still stand with sanitation workers and union workers fighting for the same protections that he fought for years ago. And so I say all that to say the work is not done. Through many different channels and expressions that we have, from song, dance, spoken word, poetry, all of the different forms of expression, we need to be able to express ourselves and talk about how we are feeling, knowing that it is okay to say, I am not okay. I need help, and have the resources to respond to that. That is a critical part of why we are facing so many challenges today, because we are afraid to say that we're not okay. We need these important spaces. We call them healing spaces, where we can come together and deal with trauma. We are traumatized by what happens in our communities. And it's okay to say that, but we have to have the answers. All of my anti-gun violence organizations, members of the Crisis Management System, CMS, we are called to serve for a reason, a time and a season. That is what Dr. King stood for. That is why he laid the groundwork and the footprints for us to follow. So we have to be agents of change, right? We have to be the peacemakers in our community. If not us, who? And if not now, when? We don't have time to waste. We have to stay focused. We have to be determined and intentional about this work, because our children need protection. We have to save every child in our community, from block to block, from neighborhood to neighborhood. And so I charge all of us as we begin this new year, as we recognize Dr. King and what he stood for. I charge each and every one of us to use this moment as an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to our people. Are we going to be upstanders of change, or are we going to be bystanders and stand on the sideline? I need everyone to tell the narrative of what we are doing in the Bronx, how we organize, how we step up, how we protect each other, how we look out for each other, how we have each other's back. Because when one of us are attacked, all of us are attacked. It should never matter, no matter where we live, the development we represent, none of that matters, folks. They are trying to take all of us out. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you represent. And so much of that plays a role in our young people today. And to every credible messenger, to every trusted partner, I encourage you to keep going. We've had a challenging first 3 weeks of this new year. It has been incredible, from fires to stabbings to shootings, so much violence, so much pain, and so much trauma. But yet and still, I am encouraged and I am filled with optimism that better days lie ahead. And most importantly, family, we are not going to give up. We are not going to give up on our children. Dr. King did not give up on all of his people. The people that he led in his congregation, in his community, he didn't give up at that time. And so we are not going to give up now in this time, right? And so in that same spirit, in that same vein, I need everyone to be energized to do this work. I need foot soldiers on the ground, helping us in these communities, helping us in our developments, working with our school partners. We cannot leave any child behind because too much is at stake. And so I thank you all. I know that I speak to the choir when I have these conversations here at Lincoln because you all get it. We have been in families' homes, giving them devastating news. We have hugged parents. We have helped them bury children. Parents should not be burying children in this day and age, and that's happening far too often. And so I just wanted to say thank you. I know this work is not easy because I am on this journey with you. And so I encourage you, as you encourage me, to keep going because we are not going to let anyone stop us from doing this work because this is our time, this is our moment, and this is an opportunity to do better and show the residents of our borough and our city what they rightfully deserve. And so I thank you so much to each and every one of you. God bless you all. Let us continue to work together. And this is also Peace Week. It doesn't get lost on me that we are recognizing Peace Week NYC. 15 years, y'all. 15 years. Peace Week, 15 years. Shout out to my sister, Erica Ford.
And shout out to my sister, Vanessa Gibson, who helped us make it happen.
15 years, man. Sister Erica, I was going to say I feel old, but we just seasoned.
I'm going to be 60 this year. I'm
Look at
proud.
Look at that. So you can't tell me, ladies and gentlemen, that this work does not have an impact. If we can have Peace Week, New York City, across 5 boroughs for 15 years, in many of our catchment areas, 0 shootings, you can't tell me that this work does not make a difference. This is why it's important for elected officials to step up and show up and deliver the money and the resources that our communities are starving for and have been starving for. And so we're not just going to talk about it, we're going to be about this work, right? We're not just going to talk the talk, folks, we're going to walk the walk. So peace, my